All right, everyone. Welcome back to the next episode of the Raiders Rambles. I am Avera Nova, Candy Corn Doggo, co-host of the show. Uh, Jolty's not here at the moment, but he should be back soon. And as always, we have our interim host, Noble.
Good, whatever time of the day it is for you, and hopefully it's not bucketing down.
I hope you get some coffee too.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Gotta perk up a bit. Bucketing down is right, because literally all, the rest of the three of us here, yeah, it's been raining like nuts. Anyway, next up we have Gil.
Hey guys, how's it going? It's a pleasure to be back in the show, and now is another chance to talk shit.
Groovy.
Oh,
And
yeah.
of course, we have Azzy.
What's up, everyone? Good afternoon, good evening, and good night, as they say.
How you doing?
Not too bad. Just
Being chill?
enjoying this rainy ass day.
Yeah, this fucking bipolar ass weather.
Oh yeah. Tell
Well,
me.
nice to have you back.
Yeah, lots of heavy fucking rain going around.
Yeah. Well, I was mentioning this to the guys earlier before we went live. It's been raining so bad here that, for those of you guys who know, I think I might have mentioned this. I have this garden totally flooded. It's just, I haven't seen the sun in 4 days. It's nuts. So, all my peas are dying. I'm just really upset about that. So hopefully some of them survive and we can get through this.
Yeah.
That's what I'm dealing with at the moment.
Yeah. It's. I mean, I've seen it for myself too. The weather. It's literally fucking up. It's fucking up gardens, fucking up everything. It's pretty nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what
All
else is nuts is what some of the things people like to get up to in this, interesting world.
Yeah. Jesus fucking Christ.
So
No,
to
you
start off
can't.
with,
No,
Oh my
you can't
God.
wear a tail to work and expect to keep your job.
all thanks to the Sydney Morning Herald, let's take a bit of a gander at this, shall we? Being an employment lawyer for the past 15 years has given me a unique insight into emerging social issues in workplaces, but I was not expecting the next battleground to be over the right for workers and school students to identify as animals.
Oh, great.
I have to admit, I take a bit of an issue with that first sort of sentence, the first paragraph, but that's just me. Yet here we are. It's clear that battle for self-expression at schools or work means employers are being increasingly challenged over the right for people to identify as furries.
Okay.
Hang on.
Is this as widespread as we think it is? Because we
My first question would be, is this something that's happening in Australia? And if it is, why do you want to be furry at work? I'm sorry. I'm trying to understand that necessity.
Legit. I mean, there's a place and a time to be, for certain activities. You can't be, ooh, I'm a furry 24/7. I mean, that's just going to scare away people.
I gotta say though, they had a pretty flattering picture from one of Australia's conventions. That was a pretty good image.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, it is pretty cute.
Yeah, kimono suit, pretty cool.
Furries, according to First Science, the public face of an international anthropomorphic research project, a diverse community that creates for themselves an animal character with whom they identify. Some of them wear elaborate costumes, others might simply put on ears or a tail to represent themselves as an animal in online communities. This is not a joke. This is a genuine trend. It's ballooning attention. Australia's national convention attests fewer than 24 furries attended 2011's, whereas this year's attracted close to 1,000. Before the last year, it never advertised on these issues, but questions are now pouring in from puzzled employers and educators. Should we let students eat lunch out in a dog bowl.
Wow.
What the fuck?
Yeah, see, okay. These are the similar
I
questions.
swear.
These are the similar questions they were asking when they were like, should we have litter boxes in the freaking bathrooms? Like,
So-
okay.
Any normal person who's watching this, please be advised that furry is an animal with human attributes. For instance, stands upright, they've got arms and legs, they may have digigrade legs, so more animal-like. But in general, pup play, what was the other term used? Ethereum?
The other
was it?
kin? Yeah, the
Other
other
kin.
kin.
That's animals, and that's animalistic type of behavior. You know, eating out of a dog bowl, that sort of thing is cringe and is usually should be limited to
Yes.
private residence, bedroom sort of thing. And if you're doing this out in public, well, you're just making everyone uncomfortable. Well, at least a good portion of them.
Well, not only that, but there's also some smart ass who thinks they're gonna to hiss at people and even bite and scratch them. Which, hey,
Well,
you do that.
My sister did that.
Yeah, but that's different
Well,
than furries, I guess.
she's gonna get beaten up. That's all. I mean, that's a little advice I'm gonna say. I mean, don't bite or scratch people unless you're expecting a fight.
exactly.
Now, following
did hear
on from
about
that,
Yeah.
can they wear
I
a
mean-
tail if it's concealed under their uniform? Will it breach our duty of care if we prohibit the wearing of cat ears? And they develop anxiety? See, that's probably a point where someone should go. The anxiety part, that's when someone should really be seeking professional help if you can't exist outside of, you know, cosmetic accessories.
Nah.
I don't comprehend why that's the thing. If someone wants to tack on some cat ears to their headset at work, I mean, a little cringe, but okay.
Yeah, like that's not really
I
hurting
mean,
anyone, I guess.
yeah. I mean, to get the cat ears
I mean,
is good to an extent, the cat ears, but like the tail, I mean, now you're just pushing the limits a little too much.
All right, look, here's the thing. If you're sitting in an office all day and you're basically plant your ass on that, fine, it's a bit whatever. If you're constantly moving around, it could be a safety issue. I mean, not everyone's going to want to get slapped by a tail. So, you know, do you want to make other people uncomfortable? Do you want to commit effectively what is assault?
Well, another
mean-
thing too is not every school has uniforms, mind you. Some are very liberal with their policies. So this one is saying, even if they do have school uniforms, could they be able to still do this? See, that's where it gets weird, right?
During
Like-
school hours, I mean, whether this is at work or at school, you shouldn't be playing dress up. Now, say for instance, during a school fair, if a bunch of students want to dress up as furries and start walking around in a little parade thing, fine. During class, not so much a good idea. If there's a sewing class, for instance, and some kid wants to make their own fursuit, that's actually a good thing because it's teaching them how to make clothing, or at least a costume, but still. Wearing it during that as a test and, you know, doing a little fashion show at the end, fine. But outside of that, I wouldn't wear it in shop.
I mean, safety
Yeah,
reasons aside, I mean, if I could just go to work in fursuit just for the hell of it, I absolutely would. If it was socially acceptable, because that would just be a fun thing to do.
If
for
it was
shooting is
socially
fun.
acceptable.
You know, I mean, yeah, it's weird and shit. Obviously, like that's why you don't do it. But
Yeah,
I
but
don't
you're
know.
not going to put a dog bowl on the ground and start drinking out of it, are you?
in front
What
of
the fuck?
customers, even.
Okay, that's a leap right there. No.
No, that's more like Tyrion shit. That's not furry shit.
Nah, man. But like, I mean, I've gone to like my job during Halloween in fursuit because, I mean, I guess it was cheating when they had a Halloween, you know, costume contest or whatever. But whatever, who cares? And it was an excuse to have fun with it. I don't know. But
Mm-hmm.
I think this article is taking this issue like way too seriously. Like this is some kind of issue that's very important. Like,
I'm
yo,
okay.
tell the kids keep that shit at home. Like, what are you doing? right?
My curiosity with this is,
Yeah.
where is this dog bowl stuff coming from? Is it coming from that thing in the US where it turns out it was fake? Or are there actually people turning around and saying that this is what they want to do?
See, I don't know if it's fake or not, because we've heard multiple stories of this, and we've talked about that protest in like that middle school where like 50 kids walked out and they were saying, "Yo, the furries are harassing us." Like, weird shit was going on. So I don't know, man.
Well, in that case, the kids doing that sort
I
of
wouldn't
things
be
are
surprised
mentally
if it was real.
disturbed.
Yeah.
Boombox, we're not doing 2 episodes today.
Yeah, and unfortunately not.
Has the world gone barking mad, or is it just a sign of modern individualism? That's stretching it a little. First Science suggests that more than 75% of furries are under the age of 25. It is therefore not surprising that a key place of tension with the phenomenon is in schools. At one Victorian school, I've heard dealings with a student wished to wear a tail under her uniform. Under threat of discrimination, claimed the school agreed to the demands of the child's present.
Oh, so the child's parents demanded this too. Oh, okay. See, that's no. That's a parenting problem.
Indeed.
I still hold it down to the point where you could technically charge someone with assault if they get hit by the tail.
I guess, but that's not really what they're going for here. It's more like they're biting and scratching people and barking at them and just being a nuisance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean the alternatives. I mean, like, is an assault charge or just getting their asses beat up, right?
No, it's if you come into physical contact with somebody who doesn't want it, that can be considered assault, or at least some form of it. Yeah, so don't go touchy on people. That's why that creepy, like, slowly dragging your finger across a woman is considered sexual harassment, because, yeah, it is.
Well, isn't everything considered sexual harassment nowadays? Even when you talk to somebody, it's considered sexual harassment. Apparently,
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So we've got this next part, which is some employers and schools right to believe that if a student or employee raises an issue of self-identification with an animal, it can't be questioned legally because it's considered part of their gender identity. For more, the answer is no. I would hope so. Wait, how would species... Oh, my brain just broke. Hang on a sec. I crashed. Fuck.
Okay, so this is where they're trying to include furry as like an identity. So come on now, stop. I don't know if this person is trolling. I'm sorry. Go on, Gil.
Yeah, I don't know if they're pretty much just trying to give like the other can like gender privilege, I guess you could say.
Oh, they got to be trolling, right? I mean, this can't be real.
I'm hoping they're trolling.
Okay, we've got this next part, which is being a furry is, of course, not a crime. Furries are in a fandom similar to Trekkies or Swifties. What's a Swiftie?
For Taylor Swift. I was about to say Toilet Swift.
They are not a demographic group like members of the LGBTQIM plus community, nor is the anthropomorphism a protected attribute under Australian anti-discrimination legislation. Well, that's going to get tested in court sometime soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, some shit's brewing up, that's for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, we really don't have to read the rest of this. This is pretty much just legal crap. What do you guys think about this? Yeah, sure. Let's see. When it comes to workplaces, I was recently asked by an employer in the tech industry whether anthropomorphism was an illegal fetish-based activity after a job candidate listed it as a hobby on their CV. It is not. And evidently, for the most part, sexual kinks are not part of the furry lifestyle. Fuck, why'd you make me read this? All right. And with schools, there is no legal protection requiring employers Oh, and with schools, there is no legal protection requiring employers to accommodate furries or furry behavior in the workplace, either under the Sex Discrimination Act or the Fair Work Act. Research nonetheless indicates the prevalence of furries in some industries, including science, engineering, and tech. That is true. Many furries are very smart because a lot of us have autism. So that's why they're in engineering, tech, IT, all
Oh,
that
you
stuff.
name
Vera?
it.
Yes?
Autism doesn't automatically mean you're a smart person.
Oh, no.
Let's just say
I
I've seen
didn't.
some people that aren't exactly
I know a
mentally
lot of people
stable.
on the spectrum, and they're fucking geniuses. I'm just saying. And a lot of furries happen to be in these fields. A lot of scientists, a lot of very high paying like tech savvy positions. So it kind of just makes sense to me. I don't know. Maybe correlation isn't causation, but I get it. If it was true, like I would get it, right? Anyways, but if they want to do this like in the workplace, I mean, come on, man. I mean, come on. You have
I mean,
meets.
come on.
You got your
That's
friends. You have conventions. You got the internet. You don't have to go to work like that. I mean, as fun as it is, we do have some kind of social standards here.
True.
I do want to point out the end of this news article from the Sun Herald. In any case, if you show up at most job interviews dressed as a cat or wolf, plenty of employers will quickly toss your CV into the bin. For now, being a furry is relegated to fandom and dress up. It's not protected attribute in schools or workplaces, but who knows what the future work might bring.
No bullshit. That's like if you show up at an interview dressed up as like freaking Batman. All right, no one's gonna take you seriously. Like, get out of here.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Right?
Especially-
Like, come on.
Especially when you have. Sorry.
So, from my point of view, what I found is that myself rocking up anyway, an employer is basically going to go, "Ugh, dull bludger," and then tell me to fuck off.
Yeah.
So, and this has been a literal thing too. So, yeah, interesting.
Okay, well,
Same as the when you have tattoos all over your face and shit. Like employers are not gonna hire you for that. Like, especially when you have piercings all over your face. Like, you think the employer would hire you
I mean,
for that?
there are certain standards for every job. If you want to get hired at a carnival, sure, maybe, but it depends on what you're going for.
Well,
like I said about the whole Batman thing, I mean, they're not going to take you seriously. Come on.
Yeah.
And what's funny is that under Australian law, there's no discrimination against people that have a hobby, right? Because they're not like a protected demographic class. So they're just like, yeah, you're fucking weird. Get out of here. Okay,
Well,
yeah, I get it.
Look, here's the thing. In Australia, you can be fired for your extracurricular activities. However, you have to be the one doing it and not someone ranting and raving. An employer can't exactly turn around and fire you for doing something that isn't illegal and that you're not promoting yourself.
Indeed.
Interesting.
Yeah, but then again, if you're familiar with health and safety too, I mean,
Yeah, but I'm not talking about dragging your like fursuit into work. That's just like ridiculous. I mean, I could understand if you worked at a place where they had equipment to mend that sort of shit, and you want to do a repair or alteration. But in other words, it's just why bring this in?
Pretty much, yeah. Why even bother at this point?
I kind of imagine it like this. If it was a furry, like walking into a job interview, and then what can you tell me about yourself? And then the furry goes like, ooh, ooh, and then the employer's like, okay, thank you. And then the next day, you're not hired.
I
You're not
mean,
hired.
Man, if I was that boss sitting at that desk and then some dude said that to me, I don't know.
All right. So for our next story, we've got a bit of modern technology that's decided to rear its ugly head. Unfortunately,
go.
this story is a little old, but thanks to Tom's guide, Google doubles down on AI overviews after telling users to eat rocks and put glue on pizza.
Oh my god.
Gemini.
Right. So this is something that happened about a week and a half ago or so. Google and its its genius. You know how it has like these prompts and whatnot. Well, now it's trying to like predict answers for you, and it's using the internet to give you ideas. That's the thing,
Yeah.
though. The thing is, this is not that smart, and it's using the internet to give you answers, and it uses things like trolls on Reddit as a reliable source. So here's what happens.
Now, I should add that this story is a little old, but we sort of missed out because no one was available for the podcast. Anyway, Google
all right.
has
This is still
doubled
freaking
down on
hilarious.
its AI-powered search results, saying in recent spate of weird and unhelpful responses are limited to just hateful niche queries.
Yeah.
AI overviews were announced as part of Google I/O earlier this month, which was a few weeks ago, and put a long-form Gemini-powered text responses above the results of more complex queries. These questions that would require several websites to visit to answer. The issue here is that when data is collected, it doesn't take the term of a joke or saying something unjust into consideration. It's just automatically considered this is a fact.
Yeah, it's like an old person seeing the internet for the first time.
Let's see. Soon after launch, a number of issues started to pop up, including one suggesting the use of non-toxic glue to thicken up pizza sauce.
Oh Lord.
Another saying eating rocks can be good for you, and a third suggesting that smoking while pregnant is healthy. It is not. And if you want AI overviews, we have a guide to blocking them from the results. Right.
But
So-
hey, Evira. But
Yeah.
here's the funny thing. You notice on food ads, I mean, how the food looks so delicious and juicy, right?
Oh, yeah, I know it's all fake.
Well,
Yeah.
guess what? It
It's
ain't.
all wax.
I mean, yeah, it's all wax. It's all glue. It's motor oil, and yeah, eating rocks. I mean, what are we, birds?
Well,
Well,
dinosaurs
just like-
did it too to help digest food. Sorry, Ozzy, you were saying?
Yeah, and also, I mean, like smoking while pregnant. Yeah, what a good idea. Let's make Boomers 2.0 again.
Sorry, Ozzy, what were you saying?
Just like McDonald's and Burger King, how they make those like burgers look like it's stacked perfectly, but when you get them, it's like flat as fuck. But like, it's because they actually put something on there like in the middle or some shit.
Basically, the question that was supposedly answered by this Google search was somebody was asking how to keep the cheese on their pizza because the pizza kept falling off, and then they said, "Well, just add glue to the sauce." Duh. That's what it told them to do. So, in a statement, Liz Reed, Google's head of search, said that many of the more outlandish claims on social media couldn't be reproduced. Yes, they could. We saw it happen. Stop lying, you
Many
corporate
times
chill.
already.
Including the rocks question. That's bullshit. I've seen it. And the real queries, she says, there are areas we need to improve. Yeah, you
No
think?
shit. No
You
shit.
They
No.
said, how many rocks should children eat a day? And I think they said, between 3 to 5 rocks is probably healthy. And we're like, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's WebMD telling them.
Oh,
that shit.
God, it was so funny. So funny.
Boombox. AI is trying to kill us.
Yeah, well, I mean, something's up with Google, man. I don't know. So Reed says the biggest problem with many of the results came down to how the AI model interpreted sarcasm and humor. Yeah, by reading like Reddit posts and Google comments and shit. We saw, quote, we saw AI overviews that featured sarcastic or trolly content from discussion forums, she wrote. Forums are often a great source of authentic first-hand information, but in some cases can lead to less than helpful advice, like using glue to get cheese to sticks in pizza. Oh, good lord. Yeah, she thinks that forums are a good source of authentic first-hand information from the internet. Okay.
No.
All
right.
I'm sorry.
I
it
guess she
isn't.
hasn't used the internet at all ever.
No.
Good
They
lord.
haven't. They haven't at all.
You can tell they have it.
Okay. I'm looking at this honestly, and I'm thinking, oh, thank you. You know, having one company turn around and literally fuck things over 3 ways from Sunday is one thing, but what happens when you have another company do it?
Oh, Lord.
Oh, that wouldn't end well.
No, it wouldn't.
Anyway, sorry, just sort of. Niche gamer, Photoshop terms of service grants Adobe access to user projects for content moderation. Dun dun dun!
Oh, my
Yes,
God.
Noble. I know you really wanted to talk about this one.
Oh yeah. See, I love
Alright.
watching things crash and burn, and this is literally taking a multi-billion-dollar company and just granting me time where I need popcorn. And if Jolt was here today, he'd be wanting a couple of truckloads worth of salt.
Yeah.
All right, so we got this article from Niche Gamer. I guess you want to start here?
Photoshop's newest terms of service has users agreeing to allow Adobe access to their active projects for purposes of content moderation and other various reasons. The next one's actually helpful. This has caused concern amongst professionals as it means Adobe would have access to projects under NDA, such as logos for unannounced games or other media projects. I don't know how to pronounce that. Founder of Songhorn Studios noted in language of terms on Twitter, calling our company's overreach. Hang on. Whoop.
Holy shit.
Do that. So I'm reading this right. At Adobe, at Photoshop. I can't use Photoshop unless I'm okay with you having full access to anything I create with it, including NDA works.
Yikes.
Wow.
I mean, Boombox says that's great and more censorship blab, but no, it's
Yeah, here we go. So technically, yes. What Adobe has also apparently stated is that they want to remove content that's considered not compatible with their views or some BS like that.
So
now, this is problematic in a sense of define what's problematic in your point of view.
problematic. That's kind of problematic.
we know what they're gonna remove. Come on,
Yeah,
we know.
So I mean, it's because it's pretty obvious now that the hottest trend for corpo shit is every single bit of PR nightmare.
So it goes on to say that 10 companies are increasingly eager to supervise and spy on their users. Recently, Microsoft announced an AI-powered product called Recall. Recall scans the screens of users, allowing them to search their past activity in common terms. Let's put it in this sense. It takes screenshots and then does a little database of it, which has already been broken because people can simply turn around and search for it. The biggest issue is that Microsoft Recall didn't actually encrypt their information, so anybody at any point can read what's on the system once they get access.
So if
and don't say that people aren't in your computer.
So if someone is using Photoshop, this version to let's say, I don't know, edit a picture of their wedding day with their wife, right? Oh wow, we just got married, and so now it's like people can find that anywhere. That's a private thing, man.
Well, no, people can't find it anywhere. In the terms of Photoshop, somebody with, let's just say, lotion on their desk can just sit there for the next hour or so, enjoying that wedding photo and using AI to maybe, like, make them in their birthday suits, that sort of thing.
Oh my
god! Okay, I see the problem here.
And again, I mean, Boombox also says that it'll add to corporate espionage, but no. It's more like a corpo shit, anti-consumer bullshit, I'd say.
And I remember the days when Photoshop was like you can get it as like a disc. and you didn't have
Oh,
to
yeah.
connect to the internet, and you can just, it was just a program you can just play with and just have.
I mean,
What's going to get?
it shouldn't
What's
You
going
say
didn't have to
that.
pay for it monthly or none of this nonsense. This is crazy.
What's
No,
going to
no.
get super interesting for me is when Adobe starts putting advertisement in user-created content.
My brother in Christ.
Like a watermark
Can
or
you
something, right?
imagine
Maybe.
the next Marvel movie being released with porn ads
Oh my
Oh
God.
my god.
inserted by whatever Adobe Premiere?
You know what? Maybe. I mean, I don't know about porn ads, but
Oh
The
my
user agreement
God.
also leaves open for the possibility to train AI using user-generated content, saying it can use the content to revive to improve our service and software. This is
How
game in
about-
column regularly covered by tech over the blah blah blah. What do we got next? Oh, hey, we can get banned on YouTube now. Boobs. Ooh, Square Enix. Okay, I'm gonna scoot that away for now. You know what I love about this whole thing?
What?
What's up?
It's just that Adobe has completely lost the plot. Now, you have quote unquote professionals in the sense of furry artists. What's going to happen with them? Seriously.
Their competition's probably going to start winning, like a lot.
Well, no. What happens if it's decided that furry artwork is considered cringe and they're just going to simply ban it? That means some artist who turns around and forks out however much for their software all of a sudden gets locked out of it. All the commissions are basically gone. Any artwork that they were producing for advertisement, poof, gone.
Because they
and not only
violated
that-
Adobe's terms of service, wasn't it?
Not only that, the people who actually do still continue to invest in such software that are actually still trying to go about it the right way, they're still being competed with by AI. So there's that whole factor too. It's like the market's like cut in half. So if they're like using this software, maybe.
I mean, it's kind of also getting to the point that, it kind of adds up to why people pirate Adobe shit because, well, you're just giving them reasons to do so. More
Yeah, okay.
and more.
Even though I shouldn't say this, I will say it anyway. In the piracy community, pirated copies of Photoshop are still highly accessible. Now, they are limited because you can't use the AI features, which may be a good or a bad thing. But you are still in the situation of you are loading software that could be potentially containing malicious code in it, which could then infect your computer. So this means that while you may be able to do work with pirated content, pirated software, you are still looking at the potential chance of any files you save, whether it's the Photoshop save file or the final export file containing malicious software, which would require you to go through extra steps to double check that everything's kosher. Not fun. The other problem is actually downloading it onto your computer may put stuff on there that you don't want, which I discovered recently thanks to a virus scanner, which was supposed to be harmless and free, and it bloody put shit on my computer. I am pissed.
Of course, the free antivirus.
I think it came from Malwarebytes or something. It was an online house call.
Oh, really?
People have apparently been blowing up about that, so it pisses me off. You can't even trust an antivirus company, one that's been in existence for a long damn ass time, not to put stupid shit on your software on your bloody computer.
Wait, it was legit.
Yes.
Oh,
look it up.
God.
House call.
Holy
it's
shit! I might
something
just
you can
do that.
download to check to see if there's any viruses or any malicious software on your computer. And I found out I'm not the only one who found out about this. It's not exactly like huge news anyway.
Well, what I'm kind of curious about is
no.
with this doubling down of Adobe, how exactly do you think is this going to make them more money? Like, how is this a good business decision to do?
Yeah,
What do you
let's
think?
just Yeah, what a good idea. No, just screw over the customer. What a
No,
brilliant
seriously,
idea.
like if you're an executive and like this is your idea for the board, I mean, like how is that going to increase profits? Like, don't you think
Yeah,
it wouldn't?
yeah. How is this shit gonna fly? With the rest of the rest
It
of the
doesn't make
company
any
too?
sense. No.
No, it doesn't.
I could see it making money, but
And
I still hold no, I still hold this true. One, they should never have turned around and basically said, "Yeah, we're going to look at your shit and we're going to steal it." Bad idea.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what happened with Tumblr because they decided to make themselves more advertiser friendly.
Oh
Yeah.
that literally crashed and burned.
Yeah, that made Twitter crash and burn. But
Oh,
with AI itself, I still believe they should have had a new application constructed that they could turn around and have images generated in that.
Agreed. Yeah. I mean, make the AI a separate software would have been a whole lot more sensible, wouldn't it?
Require the exportation of something from Photoshop into the AI program itself to make those ads and then transfer it back in. Doing shit like that is basically the core premise for why the Adobe suite is so popular, because you can literally just pop stuff between software without dicking around too much.
True.
Unfortunately, they've turned around and they've just opened up the Photoshop app and they've just thrust it in the new stuff. And if this was an egg, the egg would explode like in Futurama.
I can see why, even too.
What? That is nuts.
Oh, it sure is
No,
too.
this is see. Unfortunately, Microsoft sort of started the trend on this. But if you want to turn around and have companies that literally bend you over and grab whatever they can to, I'd say that was probably Apple. At least when it came to major corporations.
Corpo shit.
I mean, look at the iPhone. They got away with doing a lot of stuff with that. It's like, let's get rid of the headphone jack. Let's make it, let's just lie and say we just want to, drop costs.
It's the way of the future.
Wouldn't it make more sense if Adobe like offered a discount that said, "Hey, we can, look at your content and use it, but we're going to give you like a 50% discount." I mean, don't you think more people would sign up for it, and then they would be okay with the risk doing that?
All right, so
and then the rest of the people that didn't want to do it.
No, because people would freak out thinking that they'd still get access to it.
Yeah, so they basically, they fucked themselves. I mean, that's the lightest way of putting it.
But like, if they were an honest company, like if that was actually their policy, I mean. But you're right, because I'm sure in a couple of years they would probably just change it anyway.
I mean, given from what I can tell about these guys, you can say that the modern trend is to abandon honesty and just fuck the customer as much as possible. And of course, fuck whatever the PR team would say, right?
Azzy, did you have any comments regarding this?
It's kind of a lot to take in.
Yeah, sure is, isn't it?
I mean, it's.
Well, have you ever used Photoshop, or like, have you seen it?
Yeah, I mean,
who hasn't at this point?
I mean, you've seen my art, of course, on the channel.
So, do you use like the most modern version, or are you on like an older one? That
I use an app on my phone and copy and paste and all that stuff, and just like do little touch ups on it, as I call it.
Okay.
Azzy, there was a time where I picked up myself a stylus for my iPad 2. And I went on the Fur Affinity forums and said, "Oh, I can do drawing on my iPad." And people are like, "What the fuck are you talking about? How dare you turn around and do your artwork, draw artwork on an iPad? What is wrong with you? No one's going to be doing that kind of thing."
Oh my god!
Fucking love idiots.
Yeah, and I done like art on an iPad before, and it works just as fine.
Mind you, we're going back to like Photoshop 5 days, Photoshop CS5, sort of days.
Yeah, what about them?
Back when the Wacom tablet was the gold standard for drawing, and
Oh
Photoshop.
yeah, I remember that
More-
one too.
I'm a little more on like the traditional art than like digital. If I wanted to do something that's like digital or something like that, then I would have to do like a fan movie poster or some shit.
Yeah, that works too.
Oh, cool.
Anyway, there is some more to cover with the whole Adobe fiasco because they decided to respond, which is fascinating. Damn it, I need
Oh
a
my
mouse.
god.
So, a clarification on Adobe terms of use. So, this is from the
Adobe!
official Adobe Communications team. We recently made an update to our terms of service use with the goal of providing more clarity on a few specific areas and pushed a routine of reacceptance of those terms of Adobe Creative Cloud and Document Cloud customers. Okay, so we received a number of questions. So here's
Sorry.
exactly. Hold on. Well, whatever. It's just some corporate nonsense. So here's a view of what was updated. So this is their exact from their TOS policy, the things that they've changed. So let's see. 2, privacy.
For information about how we collect, use, share, and otherwise process information about you and use on our services and software, please see the private policy Adobe Go, Adobe Privacy, whatever. To have the option to merge information preferences with Adobe opt-out. Now, this is 2.2 is perhaps the basic oh shit moment.
Yeah, this is where it got really weird for me too, and I read this over. 2.2, our access to your content. And this is in pink, may / they crossed out, will only access, view, or listen to your content defined by section 4.1, content below, okay? This is just their things. So, response to feedback or support requests, detect, prevent, otherwise fraud, security, legal, technical issues. Basically, if they need access to view or listen to your content, then they can.
3.10 is the part where people are flipping out. Using techniques such as machine learning in order to improve our services and software, the user experience, information on how Adobe uses machine learning can be found here. And then there's this data protection bullshit.
I swear to God.
So, let's
So
see.
2.2 basically stating that anything that you store on Creative Cloud, they have access to. So
Yep.
that whole now this is something that's happened where someone in Adobe had access to Creative Cloud. They discovered material relating to Nintendo and they thought, shared it with someone, it got posted on the internet and there was a leak. So here's the best part about Adobe products. It is actually a hole in security when it comes to wanting to keep information secret until a release date. It has already happened. This isn't it could happen. It has already happened.
And it will happen again.
Any entertainment industry,
It will keep happening.
any company that's producing products that are utilizing or relying on Adobe for marketing purposes are fucked.
You know, like Grand Theft Auto, right? Wasn't Grand Theft Auto 5 made using Adobe's products? Yep, Rockstar is also fucked in that regard.
Avira, did you want to use your voice for this one?
Yes, your content. So, what exactly does this mean? Well, let's see in 4.1. Quote unquote content means any text, information, communication, or material such as audio files, video files, electronic documents, or images you upload, import into, embed for use by, or create using the services and software. We reserve the right, but do not have the obligation, to remove the content or restrict access to content services and software if any of your content is found to be in violation of the terms. So yeah, they can basically screen you. That's nice. But I guess they're doing it for legal reasons, as they said in Part B. Let's see, to remove content.
Of course.
We do not review all content uploaded to the services and software, but we may use available technologies, vendors, or processes, including a manual review. Yeah, that'll be good. To screen for certain types of illegal content. That I get, like terrorism and shit. For example, child stuff, abuse. Obviously, if you're like plotting murders and crap. Okay, I get that. But like,
Vera, I want to stop you there for a minute.
Yeah.
There is a movie where a photographer took a photo of her children, and it got and in the storyline of the movie, it was put out that the photographer got reported for child pornography.
Whoa!
When it went through the court in the movie, it was made clear that this photo was private. It was a photo a normal parent would take, and then it was basically just off-put. But it still basically destroyed the career of the photographer. Now, this was a fictional story in a movie. So at this sort of point, if this ends up being a movie or some other legitimate material and someone comes on and goes, that's not right, and they decide to put their tissues down, yeah.
Well, anyone can do this about anything. If they said, well, I don't like what they said about this political leader, or I don't like their views on this particular group of people, they could just say that. And perhaps in their country, maybe it's illegal under their thing. I mean, fuck, I don't know. Because this is really a slippery slope. And yeah, you're right. I mean, anyone could like I was saying, people could take a picture of like their wife on their wedding day and maybe want to edit it, and maybe they're doing a sexy picture of like them together on their honeymoon or something. Like, why in the fuck? It could get very weird very fast.
Playboy isn't going to be able to use if Playboy is currently using Adobe software, they're going to have to stop doing that.
Oh, of course.
I guess according to the new stuff, yeah.
Any porn movies that are using Adobe Premiere for production are basically going to have to give up on it because they're just going to get banned.
Yeah, there's no like easy solution for this kind of stuff.
I'm sorry, but there are legitimate reasons to have at least normal adult content being produced with Adobe software.
Yeah.
And this isn't just furry porn, by the way.
Oh, it's everything. It's everything. And, Adobe once made themselves, the king of their own hill, but they're shooting themselves in the foot.
No, Gil. This isn't shooting themselves in the foot. This is taking the biggest cannon they can and then blowing their pants off.
Oh, my God.
Everything from their pants below, because, I mean...
Right.
Now, is it just me, or does it seem like Adobe is just using this child stuff as an excuse to censor literally everybody?
Oh, you bet it is.
That's the only thing they're talking about.
Yeah, I suspect that is.
And it's like, so that gives you the right to spy on literally everybody and steal their content. See, like that's where it gets weird for me. I'm like, yeah, it's bad people are doing that, but they shouldn't be posting that to the internet anyway. So that shouldn't, like...
Okay.
Ugh.
Mr. Wolf Rangers brought up something interesting. For Playboy has their own software.
Oh, they do?
Wait,
That'd be interesting to find out.
Huh, okay.
Yeah, it sure is.
I mean, that would make
they
sense.
could just be using a fork of GIMP or something, but, whatever.
It's a possibility.
So do we want to go through the what Adobe has also tried to sort of like tell everyone, like, hey, hang on, no, this is all right, don't worry.
Let's go over it,
Well, what did they say? I mean, I'm kind of curious about like the response of like what people were thinking about this. Anything on Twitter?
I didn't load the page for it, but basically it blew up.
Yeah,
People
well, I
are
can
not
imagine.
As anyone would expect, yeah, it would blow up.
You got some furry artists who are just thinking, okay, AI is taking over everything, but maybe if I do it right, I get this, Photoshop, I can still work. And then it's like, well, crap. Now what? If I make
Exactly.
some, if I have a boob in my art, all of a sudden, I mean, who knows, right? Oh,
I
goodness.
I
mean,
do remember an artist on Fur Affinity who got their image censored because it contained animal genitalia, but the problem is it was a realistic drawing of a dog, and not in an adult sort of sense, neither.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
well, so again, I
This was
really
years
don't see
back.
anything wrong with that if it's just, a drawing. I mean,
Yeah, if it's
Leonardo da
drawing,
Vinci
there
drew
shouldn't be
naked dudes
anything
all the
wrong with it.
time. He was studying anatomy. Fuck, I don't know.
See, the thing I like about this comment here about how Adobe does not train Firefly AI, Gen AI models on customer content. Firefly generates AI models on trained database of licensed content such as Adobe stock and public content where copyright has expired. Please read here. Now, the problem is that Adobe has stated that they will take, they have the right to use your content that appears in your cloud file for their own purposes.
So let's
You
say he
give
made
them
a
the
really.
right. Now, I
So
can't find where that is right now, but
I
if you
did
do
see
look
something
at other
about that earlier.
stories,
I did
yes.
see something about that earlier when they had something about a logo. Where let's say if you were to make like a badass logo for something, they could like just use that.
Now, the problem when they're saying here, this is a double standard sort of comment because they're saying, oh, no, we don't. But unfortunately, if you take content from someone's folder and you go, oh, yes, well, this is what we want, then they can just license it as their own and do whatever they want with it.
Without
Whoops.
giving you credit. Without giving you credit.
Man, that's messed up. There's got to be an alternate or something. What was that, Azzy?
I said it really is. I'm a little speechless about this shit.
Right? Like,
Bro is dead inside.
man, I'd be pissed if I was using Photoshop like for my business. No way, dude.
I had someone once turn around and ask me to install Photoshop's, the Adobe Master Collection CS6 on their work computers, and I'm like, you want me to put pirated software on your company's computers because you don't want to pay for it, and you like design properties for people?
It makes sense in a way.
I
It
said
does make
no.
sense. I mean, but in a way, given how everything is going, it would sort of make sense, if Adobe's trying to screw over people, then hey, I guess people can also play that game too, huh?
Hang on, I'm just looking at Mr. Wolf Ranger's other comments. Now I do, and he pops another one in because I can't have to. Now I know the answer for the context. They use your content as base. They aren't going to use it fully. It's based for training the AI. Have you all not actually read how it works? The content on your cloud is usable for AI training brain. So this one, not talking your icons and shit, say it's theirs. I own copy of CS4, CS5 whole offline. You can buy a perm license offline for 1.2K. I'm pretty sure they stopped providing modern versions of Adobe software in that sort of sense. You can't actually buy it for offline use. It's only online.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but at this point, Adobe's just basically fucked. I'm sorry, but there is going to be a complete fall off from this. You're going to have professionals scrambling to figure out how the fuck do we do this? Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Very.
Interesting also,
Yeah.
too.
It's at this point where if you're interested in collecting like old software and stuff, there's a website called the Wayback Machine. It's sort of like an online archive, and you can find some very interesting things on that site.
There's even
Enjoy.
the Internet Archive too, which is a very good website too.
I thought
Yeah,
they
they
were
call it
pretty
the
much the
Wayback.
same thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
No.
are. They are.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
they
yeah,
are.
yeah, they
all.
are.
I think they just changed name.
Ah.
But yeah, it's an incredible site, man. I mean, you can go back to like the early 90s and see like the first websites ever. It's like a time machine. Like it really does feel like you're going back to the 90s, dude. It's freaking cool.
But the
You
thing
just
is,
don't
I
need a
mean,
DeLorean or a TARDIS.
yes,
Yeah, right?
but
Or
unfortunately, is
or or
just yeah,
telephone booth.
yeah, there
Oh
you
yeah,
go.
there's that. I forgot about Keanu Reeves.
But you guys also are forgetting the most important part too. People that can only interact with it, they can't. I mean, my bad. You cannot interact with it. You can only see it. But you know,
Right.
Yeah, true. Well, that's fine. It's like the chronovisor.
yeah.
The this comment from Mr. Wolf Ranger. Yeah, there's also like a shit ton of online applications, so you don't have to install shit.
That's true. Yeah, definitely.
Which after Adobe fucked themselves by choice, you can bet you can pretty much bet that quite a couple of them are just gonna start growing, pretty much.
Well, Ozzy, do you have any last comments regarding this whole fiasco?
Still a little bit speechless about that thing, but kids. I mean, but from what I heard about that, it's crazy, man. It's really really
Yeah.
crazy. It's like
I'm gonna
It's
I'm
greedy.
gonna end this. I'm gonna end this by
Yeah.
saying
no
I need
shit.
popcorn.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think we've pretty much come to the end of it. We've talked about some of the totally bonkers nonsense going on this week. Of course, there's a lot of other stuff that we didn't really have too much time to cover, but that's okay.
May Doge
Yeah,
rest
that's
in
fine.
peace.
As
Yeah.
long as we,
Well,
have a good
I mean,
time.
what I will say is, let's just go around and I don't know, get you guys like final sentiments on what we talked about. Let's start with Azzy. What'd you think about the show?
Well, little a bit educational to say the least about
All right.
that Adobe shit, but with the furries, but with the furry stuff, like in the beginning, it's like it's obvious. Like, don't wear your tail to work or any other or at the fucking
Maintaining
store
decency,
or
right?
whatever.
Maintaining
Yeah.
decency, right?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm getting at. It's like I'm
Yeah,
and especially don't wear a fursuit like in a fucking city too, because there's some people that could like take it the wrong way and shit and be like, they could like draw guns at you and all that shit. And it's
Oh
like,
you're wearing the
yeah.
wrong colors. You're the green fox, not the blue fox. Fuck you.
CSI Fur and Loathing, the character actually got shot.
Oh yeah,
Really?
that happened. But shh, we don't talk about that. Fur and loathing does not exist in Ba Sing Se. All right,
Doll?
Gil,
Yeah. I mean,
what'd you think, man?
in all honesty, it just boils down. I mean, in my honest opinion, just to complete retardation too. And even with Gemini saying that Smokey while pregnant would pretty much explain, all these people too to be this kind of retarded too, like Adobe and all that shit. I mean, they chose, to fuck themselves too. And I mean, there's basically zero sense of decency to be had, not only for the other kin, but even from corpo shit themselves too. God damn, you know? They just
Absolutely.
they just forgot when to hold back and how to hold themselves back, right? And at least, I mean, this is pretty much like why I miss, the days where you could buy your software on CDs and actually make a good living off of that. But no, you have to create an account. You have to pay monthly. You have to have your dad add access to some corpo shit or something like that.
Yeah,
I swear to
crazy.
God,
All right, I'm going to
And
take my crack at it now.
yeah, Noble.
So, first off, Mr. Wolf, yeah, we dramatize it on purpose. If people want to dramatize shit, we're going to do it too. So, first off, the whole furry thing in Australia, furries, the entire furry community, if you want to turn around and make it so that someone like myself can't enjoy being in the furry fandom, just realize you're doing it to yourself as well, you dumbasses.
Yep.
Number two,
Yeah.
Google and its whole like, let's thrust ourselves into AI. It's like, yeah, sure, why don't you just go buy a fleet of Cybertrucks if you're a delivery company? And Photoshop, thank you so much. You get to show the world what happens when you pull a Twitter and a Tumblr.
Oh boy, that is true.
Vera?
Yeah.
So
I have to say, at least like with the first story, if it's actually that much of a serious issue and they have to write articles about it, I have to say, either if you're a parent, one, don't send your kid to school like that, okay? Check their wardrobe, especially like if they go to a school with uniforms. And if you're the principal of said school, have a freaking backbone and be like, yo, what are you doing? Leave that at home, all right? Fucking chill. That would be fine.
And of
I do
course-
agree with Google, though. I think eating rocks is very healthy. I recommend at least 2 to 5
Oh,
rocks
yes.
a day. I like quartz, but maybe sandstone is a good one too. You know, it's a couple pebbles, no big deal. And
Oh, yes.
Adobe, bro, I'm not using Adobe. That's like 1984 levels of creepiness. Like I'm not even gonna go there. And but I'd like to thank Azzy, Gil, and Noble for joining us tonight. And Noble, if you want to head us out.
Podcasts are available on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, TuneIn, Player FM, iHeartRadio, BitChute, and whatever decides to crawl out of the swamp in the next couple of years.
All right.
who the
Well, this
fuck
is us
knows at
signing
this
off.
point?
Farewell, and we'll see you next time.
And
later.
until then.
Peace.
Ooga, booga, booga. Damn it!